Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to prepare a very delicious side dish, broccoli. As you can see from our ingredients here, we have broccoli, ginger, garlic, butter, we have salt, soy sauce, honey, black pepper, chill, as well as soy sauce and cooking wine. Welcome, let's cook together. Okay, now we are going to put water for washing our broccoli, and we will also add some salt and baking soda in our water so that we can remove all the toxic from the broccoli before we start to cook it. Now we are going to remove this stalk so that we can wash it easily. And I will not cut it before washing it so that it will not suck a lot of water. And in my water I have put some salt and baking soda so that it will help our broccoli to be well cleaned, removing all the toxic inside of it. And you know, one of the secrets during cutting of our broccoli, we should make sure that we don't cut the flowers. We need to cut from up the stems. So now this process of washing it with the salt and baking soda will help our broccoli to release all kinds of toxics from pesticides, and it will be safe for use. And we're not going to throw this steam, we will also use it during cooking. So now my broccoli is well washed, and I'm going to discard the water and start to cut it so that we can cook it. We are going to cut our broccoli. Remember the procedure that we will just use our hands to cut it so that we will protect the flowers not to get scattered. And if you want, you can use the help of a small knife to make sure that you just don't cut cut the flowers. And we're really not going to use the cutting board for cutting this, and I'm going to finish it by using my hand. As you can see, the stems are soft, so there is no need to remove them, except for the big stem where we will cut it into less pieces, thin pieces, so that we can cook it well. As you can see, this is how we do. This is how we do. You can just use your hand and it just turned very nice. So you can see these stems are still long, so we can just try to reduce the stem. Remember that for the light soft stem, we'll just leave it, and we are not going to waste the stems. We will also use them, but because they are more harder, we will also cook them a little bit long. You can see like this, you can just use your hand to do this way. Make sure that your flowers are not going to be scattered. Yeah. The The soft steam, you can just put it, no need to remove it. But for this hard one, I'll show you what to do. Then now for this one, because it's a bit harder, so we are just going to cut it into a small or thin layers, so that it can cook more fast. Remember, we are not going to waste anything. Everything is going to be cooked, and I'm telling you, it's crunch and even tasty. We're just trying to make it more thinner so that it will really cook well. See, this one is more strong, so we are going to cut it like this. And this one is okay, and we'll start to cook this one, which is more hard. Then we'll go back to the other one. Let's go. Now we are going to peel garlic and ginger. This one will help us to add tasty and flavor to our crunchy broccoli. Now we are going to boil our broccoli in a quick and very hot water for almost 5 minutes, so that we can go on in stir frying it. As you can see, our water is well boiled and it has some bubbles. So we're going to add a little amount of salt to make sure that it will suck well to our broccoli and give it taste. But remember, we had the steam, and this is what we are going to start with, because it's more hardy. It's more harder than the broccoli itself, broccoli flowers. So we will want this to cook for some minutes, maybe 2 minutes, before we add our broccoli. And when we add the broccoli, it will just stay for almost 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll take it off, because we don't want it to overcook and become yellow. We need it to stay green. So I'm going to cover it for just 2 minutes. We are going to add our broccoli flowers. We need to make sure it sinks well in water, and we need to make sure until the end of this process our broccoli are green. So we are not going to leave it to stay for a long time, maybe just other 2 minutes. Now I have a cold water, which I'm going to use it after blanching my broccoli. Now I'm going to add the boiled hot broccoli here to shock it, so that I will stop the cooking process, which will help our broccoli not to overcook. But now in this water, I'm going also to add some little salt so that it will have taste in our broccoli. But one thing to be careful is you can even add some ice if you want your water to be more cold, or you can use refrigerated water. Now coming back to our broccoli, this is okay now, and we just want to, as you can see, it has been well cooked, and we want to remove it. We will start with the flowers. And now I'm going to soak it in a in a cold water. Now I can put off my stove. As you can see, our broccoli are very green. Now I'm going to soak them in a cold water. Remember that the cold water has some salt to maintain the taste. And now I want to drain it. So that we can start to cook it. As you can see, my broccoli is green and even tastes. You can have very delicious, very delicious. Now we just want to stir fry it to add some little flavors. Okay, for a small sized broccoli that we have, we are not going to use a lot of spices, but this is a simple sauce that we will use to add flavor in our broccoli. This is red chill pepper, and then we have black pepper, just a little bit of it, and we will add a teaspoon of soy sauce and teaspoon of oyster sauce, we will also have little honey. You can use sugar, but for me I'm just going to use honey. I'll also add a teaspoon of cooking wine to add the aroma. And this sauce I will use to add it in our stir-fried broccoli. So now we're going to start to stir-fry our broccoli. I will use a handful of butter in a very little heat. You know that butter has got lower smoking point, so we don't need to use a lot of heat while using butter. Now I'm going to add my garlic, in a medium heat. We just let it to cook for some time. Remember to maintain your heat in low medium, almost for 2 minutes. Then I'm going to add ginger. Make sure that your heat is at the medium or low level. Let your ginger and garlic cook for some times, at least 3 to 5 minutes. You will maintain the low heat to make sure that the ginger is not going to, and garlic is not going to burn, and it still remain in a half smoking point because we have used butter. Now it is ready. We want to add our cold broccoli. But when we are going to add broccoli, we need to have a little bit high heat so that it will remain crunch and we are not going to have it for a long time. So I'm going to put my temperature a bit high so that I can stir fry it well. And at this point, I can just add my sauce. Remember, you don't need to put a lot of sauce because we need it to remain crunchy. I'll also add a bit of cooking wine to make sure it releases the aroma in our dish. Remember, we want it to remain green and crunch, so we are not going to let it cook for so long time. Let us cover it maybe for 2 minutes and it will be done. Now, as you can see, our dish is almost ready and we are going to serve it. It's very crunchy, looks greeny, and you can just eat it with you can eat it with chicken or any sample that you would like to have. I've put my spices in a medium level, but you can add as you wish. And now we are done. Thank you for being with me from the beginning of our cooking process. I hope you have learned this easy method of making broccoli, and I'll be so grateful to have your comments down and tell me which part did you like, and you can also share with me your own recipe, how you make your broccoli, and at the end tell me what next do you want me to prepare next session. Thank you.